So I don't usually make videos about TV shows, but this Young Sheldon is like the spinoff of The Big Bang Theory. It's something I've been watching pretty regularly, and I did not like The Big Bang Theory. I watched 3 or 4 episodes, and I was like, that's kind of stupid, and it just didn't interest me, so I didn't watch it. Young Sheldon was announced, and some of the actors on it that I just really liked. I thought, this would be worth checking out. Um, and I've enjoyed every season thus far. But last season, at the end of the season, they pretty much announced that the show was not being picked up for an eighth season, so that they would finish their seventh season out, and the last episode would be the final episode of the entire show. Now they have announced that there'll be a spin-off with Georgie and Mandy, but that's a entirely different show. Um, the show, if you're not familiar, is based on how Sheldon recounted his life, basically. Um, in The Big Bang Theory, he's told several stories about growing up and his life and whatnot, whatever. And so the whole point of Young Sheldon was to kind of show you how all those things add up. He talks about going to college at a young age, and in the show, Young Sheldon, they show him going to college as like not even old enough to be in junior high. So like, um, that's just the way the show works. Now I can't get back to my season 7 here, but anyway, that was the whole point. And some of the things that they've done and said in the show did not exactly line up with the way they actually the way he told them, I guess you would say. Uh, for in particular, one of the scenes where he said that he caught his dad cheating on his mom, and since that day he implemented the 3 knock method. Um, in the Young Sheldon, they showed that it wasn't him cheating on his mom at all. Um, it was just a costume, and the way he remembered it and the way it actually happened were two different things. The reason I'm telling you this is because in season 7, they're holding true to the way Sheldon explained in The Big Bang Theory how things happened. And so, in their latest episode, spoiler alert if you have not watched, um, George has a heart attack and dies in the episode. And I'm really annoyed at how they chose to do this because, first of all, I'll say that um, just because the show's ending, you don't have to end the show. We don't have to you don't have to bring that into the show and make it a thing. It could have happened at a later date after the show was supposedly over, and we just didn't see it happen. Um, Another thing is, even though the show is technically ending, who's to say someone like Netflix won't pick it up in a couple of years and want to reboot it and come up with new episodes? Now you have cut every possibility of George coming back to the show because he's supposed to be dead. And then in the last episode here, Funeral. I actually wasn't on the right one. I was on this one. But anyway, um, Funeral hasn't came out yet. It comes out tomorrow as of me making this, which is not in line with my upload schedule. But anyway, just further sealing the deal on this entire situation. An alternate possibility, if you just needed to kill him off, and who knows, they may do this. We still have one more episode for it to happen, but I don't see it happening at this point. What they could have done is spun it in a way of how Sheldon remembered it and not how it actually went down, just like the cheating episode. Sheldon may have come to the conclusion in his mind that his dad did cheat and he truly believed that he cheated. And so he didn't die, but he was dead to him, sort of thing. And they could have done that. They could have said, that he didn't actually die. It was just that Sheldon moved on to college and made that mental note that he was dead to him because he was a cheater. That's a very better way of doing things, and they've already done it in the past, so why didn't they? I feel like they've just shot themselves in the foot on this one by killing him off, sealing the deal, and that's it. I mean, in the last episode, they did say, that he had a heart attack and died. So there's no like April Fools, So I don't see them coming back from that on this last episode. I think they're going to go through with it and actually kill him off the show. Yes, the show is ending, so it's not a big deal, but you're ruining any chance for a possible reboot in the future. And I understand they're going to spin it off to Georgie and Mandy. He could have been a part of that show. You're already taking talent away from that show, making it not as good because you wanted to be dramatic in this show. So I'm really just not happy with it. It's not often a show comes on that I'm really into. For the most part, I don't like TV. Most of everything on TV is fake. I mean, even Sheldon is just a story. It's not true. But most everything on TV is fake. And so I don't tend to get into any kind of TV shows or whatever. It's not often. This Lie to Me show, which came out years ago, 2009 to 2011, was one of my favorite all-time shows on television. I watched it religiously. I've seen every episode. Wished and hoped that it would have continued, but it did not. Apparently, it didn't get as good ratings as I thought it should have. But Lie to Me was based on, just to briefly sum it up, Lie to Me was based on people who had either gained skills or learned skills to read people's facial expressions to tell if they were lying. Obviously, the star here is Tim or Cal, and she's like the co-star. I mean, these are the main two characters of the show, but there's a lot more to it than just that. One of my favorite shows. I don't even remember how many seasons it was out for. Let's see, 3 seasons. So 3 seasons, and then that was it. So yeah, I guess it just didn't do as good as I thought it did. And I really enjoyed that show. Another show that I really enjoyed, 2014, was Believe. Sort of kind of the same-ish. This one was about this girl who had powers, mental powers, that she didn't yet know she had. It's hard to explain, but it had a really good story, and I really enjoyed it. And this one lasted for 1 season, so even less. So like I say, that's the 2 that other than Young Sheldon. So those are the 3 movie shows in the past, I don't know, 10, 15 years that I can think of that really grabbed my attention and made me want to watch them. And I will definitely give Georgie and Mandy a try on their new show that's coming out this fall. But a lot of shows, I can't get into them because they're just so fake, and even the ones that claim to be reality TV are so fake, and I just can't do that. I would much rather go watch people on YouTube making real videos about their real lives instead of some made up show to make it look good. Those repo shows. I used to watch Repo Nut on YouTube all the time, religiously. All the repo shows on TV are just fake. Like half the time, more than half the time, you're not dealing with people fighting you every time you turn around. But for TV, you got to make it exciting. So on the shows, they made it exciting. And no. So there's a lot of TV shows that I just can't get into, and there's very, very few that I actually enjoy. Young Sheldon was one of those until this last episode. Um, I and the thing is, it's not just that. It's something that weighs on your mind, because you took something that was just so great for all of these seasons, however many seasons there are, 7 now, I think. You took something that was so great, and you just took a big dump on it at the very end, and that's just unacceptable, you know. It's kind of like The Office. The Office was a good one. I can say that was I wasn't really into it while it was on TV. So I actually ended up watching it after it was taken off. But when they removed Michael Scott from The Office, it pretty much went downhill. That was the end of The Office. They tried to keep it going for a little while, but I mean, the episodes with um, whatever his name is, Ricky Bobby, whatever his actual name, Will Ferrell. That's it. Those are okay. I mean, it was pretty cool that Will Ferrell was on there, but I mean, other than that, they're not that good. And then I don't remember the guy's name that took over and was the boss. The crazy guy. I can't remember his name. Those are just the worst episodes. And then Andy being the boss, no, you you guys don't even know what you're doing. You know, like once I get to the season where Michael leaves, I just start over. I'm not gonna watch the rest. If I'm gonna watch The Office, I'm just gonna start over because those are the best seasons. And I don't understand why. Who in their role of their executive power decides that we should ruin a show before it goes off the air? And I did enjoy The Office, even without Michael. If they had done less manager stuff and just focused on Jim and Pam and the regular crew, I think the show would have done really good for several more seasons. But the show was based on the quirky, weird manager Michael, and without Michael, um, you know, they felt the need to still focus on whoever the then manager was that didn't know what they were doing and couldn't keep up to Michael. So yeah, that's just my rant. It's just back to where I was going with that. It kind of weighs on you throughout the week, and you know, you on a weekly basis you watch this show and you're like, oh, that was so good, it was such a good episode, can't wait for next week's episode. And like all week you're thinking about it, you're like, yeah, I can't wait till Thursday, I can watch that new episode, because that's, you look forward to things that you like and want to do. And then this entire week has been, like, if this show wasn't being canceled, I'd probably never watch it again after this past episode. It's just, I feel like they went about it all wrong. It's put me in a really down mood all week just because of the way that it was carried out. And you killed off a great character that you didn't have to. And I get that it's all fake TV and whatever, back to what I was saying earlier, everything's fake and it's all made up. But at the same time, you had a really good thing going and you just blew it. So, I mean, if the show wasn't already getting canceled at this point, I could see why now. But anyway, that's just my rant about current TV events. If you even watch TV, because I mean, I've been for the past couple years. I don't watch TV. If not for Young Sheldon, I wouldn't watch TV. So now we're gonna go back to, actually, I will watch Clarkson's Farm. I don't count it as one of my favorite of all time shows like the ones I mentioned previously, but it is a pretty good show. I can get into it. Um, so yeah, I guess I'll watch that. But other than that, I have no need for TV anymore just because this was what I was interested in, and they ruined it. So anyway, that's all.